If you look in the Bible, you can see that God gave warnings to prophets and to dreamers. And I have been having dreams, and they have been so many warnings that there's war coming to America.
Kidding me? There's gonna be missiles getting sent this way? Like, are you dead ass? Like, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe, bruh.
I'm telling you, these missiles are coming. They're coming. They coming.
Okay, let's talk about dreams for a second. So, before the war started with Iran, is it a war? I don't know. Whatever. Before we attacked Iran, I had a dream. That we were getting attacked with like missiles. Okay, like we were in our home and getting attacked with missiles, like our home, the neighbor's home, like everywhere. And we literally were like trying to evacuate, but we couldn't in our cars. Okay, I told my friend about this dream once the war like started, like once we attacked Iran. Okay, last night I had a dream, kind of the same vibe. There was more to it. I cannot remember all of the details though, which is driving me crazy because like I'm really good about remembering my dreams. Like my dreams are usually very vivid. And I can't remember anything about it except there was at one point, it was like multiple like fireballs almost like falling from the sky. And I could feel it, like even in my sleep, I could feel it like burning, stinging my body, which was so weird. And so I don't know if these dreams mean anything, but this is the second dream that I've had now about this whole mess. And I never know if it's like, if it means something or if it's just because I've been like reading stuff or seeing stuff on the internet. So I don't know if it's just like because I'm seeing that or because it means something.
So I had this dream last night, and it was like multiple things happening in that dream. Like it was like scene after scene after scene. But the most important thing was we were all driving on some type of like highway, and there was something that was happening on the side of the highway, and we all got out of our cars to like look, see, help, whatever. In the midst of us all being in this open space, we see this light come from the sky, and we look up and we're like, what the heck was that? At first we thought it was lightning, we thought it was fireworks, we didn't know. And then after a couple seconds, all we heard was boom, and everybody was like, I know that ain't what we think it is. And we saw 2 more, 3 more, boom, 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 boom. These were missiles. Everybody started screaming, running back to their cars, because a lot of people were heading in that direction because they was getting ready to go home. Suddenly they realized they couldn't go home. Some people thought, oh, I'm going to go into the city. I got to go to my child. I got to go get this person. Other people was like, it's too late. Turn around. You got to go someplace else. It's not smart to go in the direction of the missile. We just so happened to be with somebody who was like, hey, can you drop me off at home? We were like, sure. But when we tried to drop them off at home, even though it wasn't in the same direction, there was nothing but chaos on the road. Cars crashed into each other. People ignoring red lights. Sinkholes opening up. It got to the point where it was like, dude, you're not going to be able to get home. You're just going to have to ride with us. You can't go back. And at first we were riding in separate cars. Like that person had their own car, but we all had to hop into one car. Like they had to leave their car behind. We basically had to figure out where we was going to go because we could not go back home. In this dream, our cell phones were not working. You could not send text messages. You could not call anybody. There was no internet. I'm just going to show y'all a quick drawing of what it kind of looked like. So this is like the road or the highway that we was on. Everybody was pulled over here because there was something happening here. Like, I don't remember exactly what was happening here, but it was like a major thing to the point where it caused all of us to pull over and get out of our cars. While we was here seeing this, okay, we seen the light come out the sky. We were like, what the heck is that? Boom, hit the city. You could see the city from where we were. I don't know what city this was, but you could just see it from where we were. We all took a long pause and we were like, what the heck was that? Then we saw the other ones. Boom, boom. Everybody started screaming, rushing to get back into their cars, driving towards the chaos. Other people turned around. They went the opposite direction. Other people were still just standing there looking. We're like in total disbelief. We understood like we got to go. We got to figure out where we need to go. The person I was with had to leave their car on the side of the road and hop in the car with us. That was big enough to fit everybody because we was not splitting up. We're like, no, we cannot separate. We got to stick together. The person wanted to go back home and retrieve some of their items, but it was like, no, we're just going to have to do without it because we could not go back. It was too much chaos from what was going on. I really don't remember what was happening on the side of the highway, but I remember there was ambulance trucks. I remember there was an ambulance truck that was flipped over. So it may have been like a collision, or it may have been something like really, really bad that happened on the side of the highway. At the same time, whatever happened on the side of the highway stopped a lot of us from being in that area when those missiles hit. But it was like missile after missile. And at first we were like, are those fireworks? And then we're like, no, those aren't fireworks.
The Lord gave me a vision of the night this week. Lord allowed me to see war right here in the United States. Oh, hallelujah. In this vision of the night, I was carrying on my everyday life. In the vision, I was in a mall. The mall was very modern, if you will. And people began to run and panic. I didn't know what was going on at the time. Stepped outside, and when I stepped outside, I looked up, and there was war in the sky. I seen bombs, and I seen aircraft vehicles, if you will. And I seen a great, like, dome, a laser over the sky that was trying to intercept these bombs and things that was coming in. You couldn't get in your vehicles to drive nowhere because the roads were shut down. You couldn't get on your phone to call nobody because the phones wouldn't work.
My real concern about this is a dream I had a number of years ago. In this dream, Iran flooded the sky with missiles, also as did Hezbollah with rockets that overwhelmed the defensive dome over Israel. They could not stop, everything that was coming at them. And it was in that when they slipped a nuke in, and in my dream, that nuke destroyed what was called the wicked city. Now, in Israel, and many have told me, since they read that or heard me speak about it, that the wicked city is what Tel Aviv is called.
I feel like the Lord gives us warnings before war comes. If you look in the Bible, you can see that God gave warnings to prophets and to dreamers. And I have been having dreams, and they have been so many warnings that there's war coming to America. Before I started having these dreams, I didn't really believe that the end time or would happen in my lifetime. I've heard of it, but I just didn't think that it would happen in my lifetime. And I feel as though God started giving me these dreams because he wanted me to know that he is coming soon. And I believe that I'm going to share these in hope that you too can start to realize that God's coming soon. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into this dream. In this dream that I was having, the location was very important to me. I just knew that I was in a desert, and it was a suburbs in the desert. It kind of felt like maybe Arizona or California. I know that it was livable, but there was also the heat of desert sands, and it just had you could look down and see sand, you could look out and see sand, there were palm trees. And then everyone was stepping outside of their houses, looking up into the sky. And as we were looking up, there was this beautiful, beautiful rainbow. And the rainbow was so vibrant. It was so vibrant that it lit up the sky in this like pink hue. And I was like, wow. And I had my kids. I was like, look, guys, there's a rainbow. And we looked up, and then we kind of turned the corner, and it was like an M, like a McDonald's arch. There were 2 rainbows, and they were just so beautiful. And everyone was coming outside to look at the rainbows. And then all of a sudden, bursting through the rainbow comes 3 or 4 missiles, and they took everyone by surprise. I just remember everyone was like, what is that? What is that? And so we were looking around, and then I turn around and I look behind me, and I'm like, it's a missile, it's a bomb. And everyone's just running, and you could hear frantic screaming, and we're running. And then all of a sudden, the missile, I can feel the heat of it hit behind me, and it hits the ground. And then there's just billows of heat and sand. And in my dream, I could feel it so much that it still sticks with me.
You cannot tell me that God is not real. Like, I was starting to have the craziest freaking dream until my son came in here waking me up. I was dreaming about the freaking war that's going on. That right here on the interstate where you come to go to the mall where I live at, come this way easily, no problem. You didn't even see it. You didn't see the war, no nothing. Okay, so the story was I was going to drop my kids off somewhere, and then I was on my way back by myself, and I just see missiles and things flying over, and I'm like, what is going on? Y'all, the ladies outside like, no, don't drive any farther. No, don't drive any further. Y'all, missiles just shooting. So I had to get out the car and start backwards, like on my back, going backwards. So I was, and lo and behold, like I'm starting to panic, y'all, in my sleep. So I was about to start crying in my sleep, and my son came and woke me up with chicken wings. You can't tell me that is not God.
So I just woke up from the most craziest dream of my life. I had a dream that there was a war, like they were bombing New York City, bro. I literally had a dream about that. Like I visibly seen the bombs in the sky getting stopped, some of them hitting buildings, and it's like little red balls, and some of them were getting stopped, but other ones, they were hitting the buildings. People were just running around acting like it was just crazy. It's so real. That dream was so serious to me because I even smelled the smoke in my dream. Like I smelt it, I felt it. I opened my window to feel the smoke and smell it. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, who has dreams about that? Like, come on. That's why I said I want to leave New York. Like, bro, what do you mean? Why am I having a dream about war in NYC? Like, are you kidding me? There's gonna be missiles getting sent this way. Like, are you dead ass? Like, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
9 years ago, I had a dream that missiles was coming to America. And I would have these dreams back to back. I cried. I woke up crying to my pastor. I called my pastor, and I was crying because it felt so real. You know, the dream that I had, the first dream that actually, 6 years before the coronavirus had happened, I was on the train, and God was speaking through me to say to the people that judgment is coming to America, and that a lot of people is gonna die. I don't know. I got scared and I stopped. It's very embarrassing to say that. But anyway, God would let me know, you haven't seen nothing yet. A lot of people are going to die. You haven't seen nothing yet. He'll say it every day, then he'll stop for a couple of days, and then he'll say it again, and then the coronavirus came. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to say is that the dream that I had was crazy, and it was just me and these girls. We was walking like downstairs. It looked like a train station because you know, in New York City, here in New York City, when you go in the train station, you got the little store in the train station. And, you know, I was like, you know, I'm gonna go in there and get something from the store or whatever. And then when I had, you know, I was in there doing whatever, I heard this big rumble and everybody just went to the floor. But we finally got up and we ran up the stairs, but the girls disappeared. I don't know where they went. And all I just know, it was just bullets falling out the sky, just, and people were dying. I'm like, oh man, and I'm dodging these bullets. Oh God. So I ran inside this car and I'm driving, and I looked to the left, and it was like a big lake and people on a rowboat, and they trying to get away, but the missile had fell on them and they drowned. Oh, and they drowned. So there I'm in the car, but there's a whole bunch of cars ahead of me, and the missile was coming to the cars, but the missile had went over the car. It didn't hit us. You know what I'm saying? Then it was one time, you know, another time I was, you know, still dodging missiles and all that, you know. And to finally live it, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That I get so scared because of the things I think about, it comes to pass, or, you know, the things I see, it comes to pass. I'm just letting y'all know, guys. Just keep your head up, man, and just do what you need to do. Do what you have to do. Pray. I'm telling you, these missiles are coming. They're coming. They coming.